Hey everyone, welcome to another Ragnarok M classic video. Some of you guys are asking me to make a video about getting 100% ignore defense in Royal Guard / build. So for this video, I will show you how I got my current ignore defense, and I will also give an alternative way to get 100% ignore defense as cheaper as possible. So please continue watching. But first, I would like to mention the sponsor of today's video, LD Shop. Are you struggling to make Zeny like me? Or maybe you're just ready to dominate the game. LD Shop got your back. You can achieve that on a cheaper price. Established by a big and trustworthy brand, LD is a name known across the gaming world for projects like LD Player Emulator and LD Cloud Phone. LD Shop brings the same power and reliability straight to your game top-ups. And the best part, you can top up for your favorite games like Ragnarok M Classic with a huge 23% discount. Plus, if you use my special link in the description, you'll unlock an extra 10% and 5% discount coupon just for being awesome. Topping up is super easy. No personal info needed. Just copy your in-game ID, paste it in, and boom, within 5 minutes, your goods are in your inbox. That's it. Let's begin on how I achieve my 109% ignore def stat. My weapon has morale 2, which gives 10% ignore def. Then on face, I'm using the One Punch Man headwear, which gives 5% ignore def, so it's 15% now. Next is this Rift accessory, which gives 6% ignore def at plus 12 refinement. That makes our ignore def 21%. Next is this Rift cloak, which gives 15% ignore def. Now we have 36%. Then another 15% from Munich Star Card, which makes our ignore def 51%. And then another 10% from our skill called Spear Trust. That makes our ignore def 61%. I also have 4 Sakurai memories with 2% ignore def, so that's 8%, making my ignore def 69%. And then another 5% in Aesir Monument. There's 5 ignore def nodes, so make sure to unlock it all. That makes my ignore def 74%. Next is another 10% ignore def from Guild Blessings. Now my ignore def is 84%. And then another 20% from Minorous Card Deposit, but you need to have over 50% damage to large in order to have this deposit effect. This makes my ignore def 104%. And then last but not least is Watchdog Pet, which gives 5% ignore def if you manage to max his passive skill called Savage Dog. That makes my ignore def 109%. I know that some of you don't have Minorous Card or Morale Enchantment, so I will also give a guide on how to reach 100% ignore def without spending a lot of Zeny. Because we all know that buying Minorous Card is very expensive. I think it costs around 20 million Zeny, and you need 3 of them to get the 20% ignore def effect. Also, not everyone is lucky enough to get ignored def enchantment, so I hope this video will help you. First is Munich Star Card. This one became cheaper to craft, and you can also use it on other classes, so you should have this card. And then Rift Cloak or Ancient Cape for another 15% ignore def. Next is Rift accessories that gives ignore defense. Each one gives 6%, so you can get 12%. You can change them later on once you can achieve 100% without them. Then, if you don't have this faceware, you can use this one called Nut on Head. This gives 5% ignore defense. Next is headwear. Rudolph Horn gives 5% physical damage and 5% ignore defense. You can buy Broken +3 if you want it cheaper. Next is this one. You can use Ice Ridge Sculpture for your tail. It gives 3% ignore def and another 3% ignore def once you attack the enemy, so it gives a total of 6%. Next is Sacre Memories. At level 10, you can unlock special stats from Sacre Memories. You can choose 2% Ignore Def for the special stat. You can wear up to 9 Sacre Memories, so you can get up to 18% Ignore Def. You can also change those special stats anytime once you get enough Ignore Def without them. Next is Aesir Monument. You can get up to 5% here if you unlock all of the 5 Ignore Def nodes. So be sure to unlock them as soon as possible. And then, as I said earlier, you can also get another 10% Ignore Def from this skill. Instant/build mostly using Spear Weapon, so be sure to max this out. Next is the Guild Blessing. You can get another 10% here if you manage to max this out. This should be easy if you actively play the game. Next is Watchdog Pet. This one gives another 5% Ignore Def. This pet was completely free on One Punch Man collab event, so you surely have this, unless you missed the event. That's it. If you manage to get all of those, you will have a total of 103% Ignore Def. But once you got more Zeny, you can also use Maple Leaf Esma card, which gives 20% Ignore Def. If you do that, you can finally change some of your gears for attack or damage boosting items. Ignore Defense is very important on our build, but you also need other stats, like damage increase and penetration. So try to get cards or enchantment that gives Ignore Def and then change your other gears for attack, damage increase, and penetration to boost your damage even further. By the way, that's it for this video. I hope it helped you somehow. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you, and see you on the next one.